Jeff Hanneman wasn't just another guitarist in a loud band. Born in Oakland, California, in 1964, he grew up on a mix of punk and metal that would shape his sound forever. By 1981, he co-founded Slayer with Kerry King, and together they would forge a new path in heavy metal faster, heavier, and more intense than anything before it. What made Hanneman special wasn't just speed or technical skill. It was his ability to make chaos sound like art. His riffs were sharp enough to cut glass, yet precise enough to fit into Slayer's machine gun rhythms. He drew inspiration from war history, personal experiences, and the raw energy of punk music. Even decades later, his guitar tone is studied by aspiring metal players trying to unlock the Hanneman formula. But Jeff's story took a devastating turn in 2011 when he contracted necrotizing fasciitis, a rare flesh-eating bacterial infection, allegedly from a spider bite. It sidelined him from touring and recording with Slayer, forcing him into a long and painful recovery. While some fans thought he'd eventually make a triumphant return, the road back was far more difficult than most realized. On May 2, 2013, the music world was stunned by the news. Jeff Hanneman had died at just 49 years old. The official cause was liver failure, linked in part to alcohol-related cirrhosis. Friends and fellow musicians shared heartfelt tributes, remembering him as both a ferocious guitarist and a humble, private person offstage. Fans poured into online forums, concerts, and memorials, sharing stories of how Hanneman's music had changed their lives. For many, it felt like the end of an era, a voice in metal that could never truly be replaced. Even after his passing, Hanneman's presence is everywhere in metal culture. Slayer dedicated their 2015 farewell tour to his memory, with his guitar placed on stage as a silent tribute. His influence stretches beyond metal punk bands, hard rock groups, and even film composers cite his riffs as inspiration. Guitar companies have continued to release signature Hanneman models, keeping his playing style alive for new generations. He wasn't just part of Slayer, he was Slayer's heartbeat, shaping the sound that millions still blast at full volume. Fast forward to 2025, and Jeff Hanneman's legacy is stronger than ever. This year marks the release of a long-awaited documentary, Reigning Forever, The Jeff Hanneman Story, featuring never-before-seen backstage footage and interviews with bandmates, friends, and family. Fans are still discovering rare demo recordings from his home studio, giving a glimpse into his creative process. In Huntington Beach, California, a mural dedicated to Hanneman has become a pilgrimage site for metal fans around the world. And, at major metal festivals, tribute sets featuring his songs continue to ignite mosh pits, just like they did decades ago. For years, rumors swirled about the full circumstances surrounding his illness and passing. In 2025, new interviews with his close circle have provided more clarity. According to bandmates, Hanneman had been quietly battling multiple health issues long before his hospitalization, but never wanted to burden anyone with his struggles. He was fiercely private, preferring to let the music speak for him. Jeff Hanneman's music wasn't just about speed and aggression, it was about intensity of spirit. He showed that music could be dark, disturbing, and still deeply meaningful. In 2025, young metal bands are still citing him as their #1 influence, and streaming services report spikes in Slayer's catalog every time a new generation discovers his work. In some ways, yes, we now understand more about his struggles and the human side behind the legend. But in other ways, his aura remains untouchable, forever preserved in the thunderous chords and razor-sharp riffs that defined an era. And here's the part that will shock you, even in death. Jeff Hanneman has more young fans discovering his music today than he did in his final years alive. His legacy isn't fading, it's growing. That's the power of a true legend.